Restoring communications at healthcare facilities. Communication is the direct interaction between two people using a device that they both feel comfortable with. It could be a traditional telephone, cell phone, or computer, using voice, text, video, or email. But it is a live two-way interaction. Asking questions to another human being is by far the most familiar, comfortable, and efficient way to communicate. When an organization loses its ability to communicate with others, things always go downhill. Telephone failures have existed since the telephone was created. Today, almost all communications are transported digitally. Outages still occur, and they will continue in the foreseeable future. Nearly 2 decades ago, a solution was devised that brought critical access facilities up to 100% communications uptime. That solution was designed to overcome the two unsolvable problems. First, the infrastructure is destroyed or corrupted. Second, too many people are trying to communicate at once, also known as network congestion. Both of these are likely to occur in a disaster. Over the years, upgrades in communication restoration have allowed backup solutions to step in, automatically restoring communications seamlessly. There have been occasions where the primary communications have been lost at a critical access facility, their backup service automatically kicked in, and no one at that facility or in the community knew there was a problem. This solution has been fine-tuned over time to fit the changing needs of our society. In a protected facility, all communications are restored: voice traffic, cellular traffic, and the internet. For example, there may be no cellular signal, but when you enter a protected facility, your cell phone and all your apps and email are working fine. Another example, there is a disaster, and the communication infrastructure for 100 miles in every direction fails. However, incoming calls to your facility on your main published numbers still reach your building, and your employees' cell phones work. You can make outbound calls anywhere in the world, but you can't order pizza from across the street because they have no working infrastructure. A modern-day example, you are under a cyber attack. Your entire network, including your phone system, fails. Incoming calls to your facility are automatically answered by an automated attendant, which routes the call to the appropriate person or department. The person receiving the call on their cell phone hears a whisper message and answers the call appropriately. Another example, your building could be partially or fully evacuated or completely destroyed. All incoming calls to your facility are still answered and directed to the person, department, or facility that the caller requests. Your employees will answer calls on cell phones or from any alternate locations you set up. The Healthcare Connect Fund, set up by the FCC, pays for the majority of the cost for healthcare to back up and restore communications. We have been an approved provider for the fund for the last 10 years. This fund will also pay the majority of the costs to replace discontinued POTS lines, because they want POTS lines to be indestructible and work in an emergency or disaster. Both the CMS and the Joint Commission have a requirement that states, facilities are required to have primary and alternate means of communicating with staff, the public, federal, state, tribal, regional, and local emergency management agencies. Sounds nearly impossible, especially during an emergency. With our system, this can be done in 30 seconds by anyone with the password. We have given you a lot of information. I'm sure you have questions. Schedule a time to visit with one of our experienced consultants and we can give you answers.